What's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy Jaris and we back with another video, man. Today, I know y'all been asking for, we're gonna go over different types of releases for the press, man, coverage. We gotta switch up your arsenal. I know y'all been doing a lot of the same moves. It's getting redundant and y'all are getting jammed up. So we gonna help y'all with that, man. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. It's gonna be helpful. You also need to share and comment so more people see it. We're gonna help y'all out today. Stay tuned. All right, so the first one we have, we're gonna be talking about off coverage, and we're gonna be talking about stem releases. I call them burst and blast releases. You might call them differently, but that's when you try to gain leverage on the defensive back. So if he's inside leverage, you're gonna stem in, then cut up. If he's outside leverage, you're gonna stem out, cut up. Inside releases is normally called the burst release. That's what I call it. Outside is the blast release, but you might have a different name for it. But that's what we're gonna talk about today. Off coverage, I've seen a lot of people do some footwork during off coverage, and that kind of wastes time. When they're off, you don't have the pressure of trying to make a move, trying to shake them. You just gotta go get your route started, so that way it don't take a lot of time and mess up your timing with the quarterback. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna talk about the inside stem and the outside stem and when to use it and what it looks like in play. So get ready. All right, so for the burst and blast release, we're gonna use the option route for the example of when you're supposed to do these releases, because it's gonna make the most sense once we get to the top end of the route why you would want to do these releases. So for the option route, you have the option to go in, out, or curls to the in or the outside. Those are typically the option routes. Sometimes you have fade, sometimes you have a slant, sometimes you have corners. But for this particular example, we're gonna use the in route and the out route for the option route, or maybe like a sit, curl, hitch type of thing. So that's what we're gonna do here. So whenever you're lined up, he's inside leverage. You want to, so for this is for the burst release, you want to burst them inside and try your best to head them up. That way you have more options. You can go inside or outside and you can sit. If you didn't do that release and he was inside leverage, he has the inside leverage, and you only have one option at this point, and that's to go outside. So you'll be here and there, and then he'll know what you're running because he can easily break on that, undercut you, whatever, this and that. So if you stem him up, you stem him up inside, you head him up as best as you possibly can. You give yourself a better opportunity to, for the option route's sake, to run whatever option you feels best. And that'll also work for the outside release. He's outside leverage. I burst outside, try to stem him up. And now I have the option to go here. I have the option to go there. And I also have the option to sit it down and curl back to the quarterback and get my body, get big, and make myself a big target. Does that make sense? Gotcha. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna demonstrate that at a little faster speed. That way you guys can see it in real time. So I stem them in. Sometimes you'll find that in certain coverages, when you stem cornerbacks in, they'll try to keep their leverage as best as possible, and that's okay. If I have an option route like that and I stem him in and he still goes inside, I still have more room to go outside and I still have some distance. So if I were to do that and he didn't go in and he kept his same positioning, I would have more options. So we'll do that again. So it's gonna look like this. Let's say, so I'm doing this option route, I'm stemming him in inside, and he stays his leverage. I'll have more options to choose from. So we're there now. Since he didn't fade in with my stem, he stayed head up as best as he possibly could with me, and I was able to break in. So that's how those type of releases work for the option. It also works like that for the outside, and I'll show you what it looks like for the outside. Same thing, balls inside, boundaries this way. I have an option route again. We're here, stem them up, boom. Now I have more room to sit down and present myself as a quarterback. Does that make sense? You guys got it? It's pretty simple stuff. Once you get in the habit of repeating it and you practice it, it'll be easier and it'll be second nature to you on some of these kind of releases and what works and what doesn't work. So now we're just gonna move on to the next one. Okay, so for the next release, we're gonna be talking about press releases and things to do when the DB's in your face. For this first one, we're gonna talk about quarters and thirds and how the cornerback will sort of give you cues on he's not actually pressing you. He's gonna act like he's pressed, but he's gonna be bailing. So press bail is what we're gonna be talking about, and what to do when you start to see those keys. You see him on his heels. Here, point my feet a little bit. You see on his heel, you'll see him start doing this. You'll see him peek at the quarterback a little bit more. You'll see him peek at the quarterback inside a little bit. You'll see him start to, if there's like a hard count or something like that. Those are some of the cues you'll see when they're doing press bail. So we're gonna go over what to do in that kind of situation, because when you see that, you really have to take advantage of that. Because those are the prime situations where you can really win at the beginning of the route. You'll know that you're gonna win your route if you start to see that stuff, if you decide you wanna take advantage of it. So we're gonna go over that. Okay, so like I was saying, he's gonna give away the cues for the thirds coverage, the quarters coverage. He's gonna be peeking inside. He's gonna be on his heels a little bit, rocking a little bit, trying to jump the cadence. And whenever you see those cues, that's when you really have to take advantage of it. So I'm lined up, ball's inside, he's peeking inside, he's leaning, he's on his heels a little. Okay, all right, I see that. So he's on his heels. So when the ball snaps, I'm not gonna focus on trying to do 1-2 jabs, this and that. I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna dip my shoulder, get skinny, so if he were to actually press me, he wouldn't be able to, because I'm giving him less body to work with. I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna get skinny, and I'm gone. And we're off to the races. Oftentimes in those quarters coverages, he's gonna zone turn. So he'll be here, he'll zone turn and turn inside, so that way he can see the quarterback. And when that happens, he's gonna be rocking. You're gonna see those cues. He's gonna be looking inside. When he zone turns, you can get in his blind spot, and you can run breaking off routes, such as like the out route, curl route, comeback route, those kind of routes. Because his back's turned to you. You want to get in his blind spot, get skinny off the release, get in his blind spot, and set him up and break off of those routes. So what that would look like. So we're going through it. All right, I'm lined up with the rev. You good? On. He's peeking inside. Okay, I see him peeking inside. He's leaning. Ball snap. I'm gone. No wasted movement here. Blind spot. Boom. Breaking off. Come back. I'm in the blind spot again. Curl. Blind spot again. Out route. Those type of things. Whenever you get in their blind spot and they're doing that zone turn, you don't even have to worry about trying to get some footwork release. You don't have to worry about trying to look pretty. You don't have to worry about doing all that. He's zone turning, he's out of there, because you can't get beat deep when you're in those coverages, those thirds coverages, those quarters coverage. So he's trying to hightail out of there, making sure he's not getting beat deep. So as soon as you see those cues, you're speed releasing out of there, gone. Boom, breaking it off, 10, 12 yards, however far your route is, and you off to the races. You catch the sideline, come back up the sideline. You just got to make one move on him. Touchdown. That makes sense. Speed release. That's the second kind of release we're gonna be talking about. That's the speed release. All right, so for the next one is press man, true press man, inside leverage, head up leverage, outside leverage, and we're all gonna be working on is just getting that outside release to simplify it for you guys, because then you'll be able to transfer that and be able to do that inside release and outside release. So inside leverage, head up, and outside release, and you'll just be able to mirror that on the opposite side, if that makes sense. All right, so what we're gonna do first is inside leverage. Quarterback's inside leverage. You're here. It's like, okay, I definitely am not gonna be able to get inside unless I gotta get physical, and a lot of people don't like to get physical. They like to just use their fancy feet. So for all intents and purposes, we're getting fancy with our feet. We're here. And you remember what I said in one of the previous videos, when he's pressed and you gotta go, bring that foot up, bring that chest up just a little bit. You don't want to be standing up, but you want to be a little bit higher. Hands up, ready to fight, because you know he's gonna be trying to get physical with you. So you see he's inside leverage. In order for you to get that outside release, you want to push him inside a little bit more. That way he's moving and then you can just go. So what's that going to look like? A basic 1-2 jab for this release is what it's going to be. So we'll be here. He's inside release. We're going to work him 1-2, and then we're going to be gone like that. And remember, whenever you're releasing, you got to get skinny and try to hide that chest so that way he doesn't get a hand on it. So what he's going to do, he's going to try to get his hand on me, and I'm going to be physical with my hands simultaneously with my feet, trying to work them with my feet. So what that's going to look like, and we're just going to jog or kind of walk through it, simulate it, so that way you guys can see what's actually happening. So we're here, my foot's a little bit closer, my hands are ready to fight. I'm here, boom, boom, boom. Here, get skinny, and I'm going like that. Pretty simple. You want to be quick with it. It's a lot of people like to do the hesitation, didn't want to. But what I found works best is if you try your best to catch the DB off guard. So you're here, and you're not really doing the hesitation so much is you're here and then you just 1-2 like that. You're trying to be as quick as possible while also being as physical as possible. That makes sense. So what that's gonna look like, we're here. All right, he's pressed. I gotta move my foot up a little bit. I gotta get my hands ready to fight. So we're here. And then we're just out of there, trying to get skinny as possible. Giving him that shoulder so he doesn't have much to really push you off your line. And you wanna get skinny and you wanna stack after that. So that's just a simple 1-2 jab, because he's inside leverage. You wanna do that 1-2 jab going towards the inside. That way you can push him off the line a little bit more. All right, so for this next one, we're gonna talk about head up press. And with the head up, you can do a little bit more as far as like your little hesitation steps. You can get more dancey with it because he's head up. You can go both ways, and he used to play DB, so he can give you kind of what the DB's thinking and how he can be beat from a defensive back perspective, being head up. So, what do you have to say about that?
Being head up on the receiver, you're left. You don't know where he's going. He can go inside. He can go outside. He can bully ball if that's what he want to do. As I'm head up though, he gonna give me something. So now I'm gonna back up and I'm gonna try to get my feet. And I'm already beat. I'm already beat. Cause when he do that, back up. Oh, he keep going with his route, or he can break it off and go back outside. Either way, playing head up. If you don't have the techniques and the fundamentals, you're beat. Simple as that.
So basically with head up, you can get more creative with what you want to do, because it's more so about catching him off guard and using all of your options, because he, at the end of the day, isn't sure what you're going to run because he's head up. He's not giving you any leverage, so he's not cutting one way off for you like he would if he was inside shade or outside shade. So he's giving you both ways to go. You just have to work with whatever your route is and try to manipulate his reaction to work for your advantage, if that makes sense. So when a DB's head up, you can work more of that hesitation stuff, because he's gonna sit there and pat for a little bit, and at that point when he's sitting there patting, you can just go. So the little hesitation release, just standing up a little bit, that'll make him delay a little bit and kind of relax for a second, because I'm not doing anything yet. I'm not attacking him yet, because he can't do anything until I attack him, unless he's trying to like just go ahead and jam me.
Unless he's trying to get aggressive. Yeah. If you got an aggressive DB, the hesitation move will not work.
Yeah, not a lot of people do that unless they watch film on you and they see that you do the same kind of move. And so if you're predictable on your film, then that's more the case when they'll do that. If they see you got a lot of moves and they don't know what you're gonna do, they're not gonna be so aggressive, especially in games, because they gotta play smart and know that it's a team game and they're not trying to make a highlight tape in this one game. So sort of the things you can do, you're here, press, you can do a hesitation, you can do 1-2, you can also work diamond releases. So he's head up, you can go here, then boom, and then get back on him. So you can press outside, push him, and then go inside. You can do a diamond release inside, so you'll go here, boom, and then go back outside. And you can work some more of the dancey sort of releases. So you can get kind of creative like Chad Johnson. He does all this extra stuff just to try to confuse the DB, especially if they're not disciplined with their eyes. If they're looking at your feet, they're beat. If they're not looking at your hips,
they lost. They don't even matter. They lost the route.
And what you'll notice is if you add more of your body components into the release, like your feet, your shoulder wiggle, or your head nods, it's easy to catch an undisciplined DB off guard. So you can get really creative. You got releases. You can do the hesitation 1-2. You can do the hesitation jab. You can do a split release, so you'll just be here and then you're gone. It's really a lot of stuff. You can kind of like here, high step stutter, then go. There's a lot of things you could do. I would suggest you guys just watch videos of what people do in the game situation. That way, that's more applicable to what we're doing here. Some of these releases are better for one-on-one situations, like 1v1s at practice or at camps and stuff like that, because you don't really have to worry about the pressures of the offensive line, defensive line working and stuff like that. You can really just dance, figure out what works and experiment. So that's really what we have for head up. All right, man, so outside release, this can get really tricky because there are two scenarios where the DB, if you push him outside, he'll take a step outside, and then that'll open you up for some options. And there's also a scenario where the DB will be patient and see if you're really gonna risk pushing him outside and getting jammed up. So what that will look like, if he's patient and he's outside leverage and you're trying to get outside, what would happen if he's patient? I'm here, I try to do something here and it doesn't work because he's patient, and I still try to go outside, he's already there and I'm jammed up. Does that make sense? Y'all got that? So what happens in that situation? He's patient. What you're gonna have to do, well, in both situations, because if he moves outside, you'll still have this option also. So if he moves outside, or if he's patient and you notice that, okay, this isn't gonna work, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to push him out just a little bit. He's gonna commit to that and you slip underneath. He's gonna have outside leverage on you now. So what you have to do then is stack on top of him as best as you possibly can, get back out, and then run whatever route it is that you're running. So we're here, he's outside release. I push him one step, boom, slip underneath. I try my best to stack him as best as possible. That way now, okay, all my options are available. I can go in, out, whatever route, and I'm breaking him because I'm stacked on top of him. So it really just depends on what you do after the particular release. But if he's outside with leverage, I would suggest, I highly suggest that you try your best to push him out a little bit. Make him even overestimate what you're gonna do. That way it gives you some room to free up and he has to try to play catch up and you just stack him and then you run your route. So what that would look like, he's outside leverage. I'm here, I'm pushing him and then I'm getting inside and trying my best to stack him. Oftentimes you'll find that you can't fully stack him. So what you're gonna have to do is sort of just get like that one, like half of your shoulder on top. That'll be considered a good stack because you can still work to get outside if the ball's coming. Or if you're still inside, they can like bend you in for something like that if you're running a go or something like that. So pushing them out and just giving yourself more options once you stack them will really help on that outside leverage release. So that's gonna do it for the video. Going over press releases, off coverage, this and that, man. I'm gonna get y'all right, I promise. Hey, I got some special information for y'all. I got some people shooting some pictures. I got Axel over here. I'm gonna tag his Instagram, Soy Unico. Is that how you say it? Yeah. On Instagram, hey, you feel me? Hey, Jaris, he was helping me out in this video. He probably gonna help me out in a couple more, so y'all will see him in the future. Go ahead, put your Instagram. I'll put it in.
You know, it's og.glizzy, Glizzy.
Hey, it'll be in the description, so you don't even have to worry about how I spell this and that. Hey, but like I said, man, I got some merch coming out, so y'all be ready, man. Hey, I got an ebook coming out on some things that'll help you to increase your chances to get recruited. So be on the lookout for that because it's really gonna be helpful to some of y'all, most of y'all, if you're really interested in trying to get recruited and go to the next level, or people looking for advice. So just be ready for that. Be ready for the merch. I'm thinking about doing a Patreon for specific video content that you guys might need help with that I can't all fit into a YouTube video. So just be ready for that. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, and most importantly, share it, man. I don't know if y'all be sharing these videos. Y'all need to share them so more people, share them with your teammates, more people can see them, they can learn, and we all going up together. So I appreciate y'all for watching. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.